Hang on, loves. All right. Oh, God, you guys are hilarious. All right, first one that came up, request. Ready for it? It's hard. This was the first one when I asked. The first one came up. So first come, first serve. What's going on here? What's happening? Not really. Who put this one in? I forget. Who told me to put this one? The first person. Love it. Love it. Watch, YouTube won't kick me off for this. And watch, Instagram won't give a fuck for this one. It's so old school. Bella, hi, baby. Oh, we missed you too. Hi, James. Hi, Allie. Hi, Wildflower. Ever Realty. Girl, this one's for you. We're the first one in. Sarah Monica, what's up, love? Who else is feeling that they want to do whatever the fuck they want? Give some hearts, loves. Tell me you can hear me. Solana's the door, baby, I miss you. Girl, look at this shit. It's out of control. I want to take a trip to Sedona and see you. Yes, cool. We got hearts. Yes, girl. I know this was your song. I was like, what? Because you're free, baby. Because we're all free. Can we give some hearts for being free, even though we may not feel like we're free? Let's give some hearts for being fucking free. Because we can be free no matter where the fuck we are. We can be free inside, outside, anywhere. We might be having a conversation about freedom tonight. What's up, YouTube? Hi, Colleen. Okay. So cool. I haven't heard this in like forever. We're good. We're good. That was awesome though. Thank you guys for writing in for songs. Okay, so we have to do a hard out on the music because last time they blocked my video because now it uploads to IGTV, blah, blah, blah. Technical. So, hi, loves. Welcome to Soul Circle. Conscious Love and Relationship series. Put in your questions. I'm so excited to see you guys. Give some hearts. Please tell me how you are feeling. What is the 411? I can't believe I just said that. Oh my God. That was a clueless moment. Holy wow. Cool. Let me see what's going on with questions. We're going to for sure do cards. Okay. I felt really drawn to come back to the golden path, and I'm probably going to do, cause I don't know. I felt really, do you guys like cards? Book. I love, this is my favorite book. And I felt really good last time I did with the book. And so we'll balance it out. Yeah, I know, girl. Stop laughing at me with the 411. It came out. Okay. I don't know. Soul Circle, no filter. Sarah, no filter. What are we going to talk about today? I am in such a great mood. Whatever I feel. Yes. So tell me how you guys are doing right now. What's up? We're starting to open up California. Where are you guys? What's going on? How are you guys doing in your relationship with self and your romantic relationships? I finally got to see my girls, right? We had a little beach day. That was needed. Okay. We've got roller coaster of emotions. Okay. Hang on. Give me a second. Okay. Hi, Nelly. Hang on. I thought I saw one. I want to make sure that I don't miss anything today. Okay. Bella, okay. Trying really hard. Caps. Girl, you yelling. Why you yelling? To keep my past programming at bay. Okay. Good job. This will be good. Give some hearts. Who's doing their best to keep their past programming at bay when everybody's inside? And so it's literally telling you to go inside and expanding your capacity for doing inner adventure. Can we call it inner adventure instead of inner work? Okay, because it's fun. All right. I'm in a mood today. Okay. Trying to keep your past programming at bay while trying to figure out this man. You met a man? You met a man. Pause. Hashtag don't get upset. Girl. Okay. Oh my God. Why were you not on membership today? Hashtag keep your power. Yes, girl. Okay. So past programming, are you going to share for the group of Soul Circle, or is this like a private membership only? Give a shout, or give a shout out if you guys want to hear other people's past programming that might relate to you, girl, if you're down. And don't want to call you out, but I know you're a fucking badass. So what is specifically the past programming? Or, you know, if this is a membership thing, then we can totally do that in there next week too. So quick little side note, you guys, for COVID, I've kind of opened up at a really reasonable rate weekly group coaching calls inside of Soul Circle membership. So we dive into like laser coaching and we get really, really clear on stuff like this. So Sarah Monaco, I will come back to you on that. Kazenya, baby, I will do a card for you later. Okay, you met someone super casual. I love it. I love it. Via online. I love it. Okay, and we hung out 3 times. Great. Walking date. Okay, and you're afraid COVID made it more platonic than I want it to be. So what's wrong? Okay, so you guys give some hearts if this has ever happened to you, right? Where you're like, okay, are we platonic? Are we going into more of like the direction? Like, what's the deal? So concerned that you're sending signals that are friend zoning. Same on his side. Okay, here's what I want to say to this. So yes, hearts on that. Okay, so here's the deal. Because this can happen. Yeah, hearts. Lots of hearts on that. I love it. Lots of heart. Okay. I love you guys. Cool. So this is very relatable. And this is perfect because let's take it back to the relationship resume. Let's just start there. Because I think what happens is that, and especially now, like we don't interview long enough. We don't interview strong enough. We don't kind of like say, okay, I haven't quite decided just yet, right? I feel like this is more like girl, like we decide like way quicker than I feel like guys do. Maybe I'm not a guy, so any gentleman, feel free to share. But I feel like it's kind of like, let's not gender, but let's gender, like it's kind of a girl thing. So we jump in too quick. We say yes too quick. And we forget that we're the CEO of our own company and we are interviewing for someone to be a co-CEO, right? Relationships and business, the same thing. It's the same thing, right? I apply so many of like the tech, what I teach in personal development into business, which is so many, like get to your core and transmute your core wounds so that then you can excel at a higher level, and so many aspects of even interview process, right? In dating. So what are the qualifications, right? And this is going to sound, I get that like we want it to sound a little more romantic, right? Because it's love and relationships. And yet at the same time, that's where we can sometimes get tripped up. So I'm not mad that you're like kind of taking this like observer. Let's call it a more observer role, right? So if you're worried that you're sending the wrong signals, then I would say ask more questions, get more curious about what things you have, like let's say on your relationship resume, what things you would love for him to have on his relationship resume. See if they are there on their relationship resume, right? What values, like get to know them on a level that's not jumping into the future of like, oh my gosh, what could our white picket fence and like house look like? Because we do that. We flip the switch way too soon, right? And then we don't, two sides. One, we don't give ourselves time to process the sort of emotions that come up, especially in the beginning. And we don't give them an opportunity to show who they really are. True. Cool. Right? Because as much as you're showing, and I know, girl, I know you're showing up in your authenticity. I know you are, because you apply those techniques. So you know how to show up and just being that authentic version of you. Right? So see whether, like, hold the space for him and see whether that's going to be happening for him as well. And then just keep doing you, keep practicing. Here's what I really want to say. You got, like, no matter what happens in the relationship, right? It's your practice about how you want to show up. So no matter whether the relationship ends, no matter how long it lasts, as long as you know that you practice showing up with all of the things that you wanted to do. So if you wanted to practice, okay, I want to try this new, like, getting rid of old toxic patterns. And this new thing is being vulnerable and just sharing vulnerably, whatever that's going to look like. I don't know. I'm going to practice it because I would like to have a healthy relationship and I would like to see how that's going to work with somebody. And since it's new, because we're all used to other types of relationships, so practicing the behavior of being in a healthy relationship, like, whole other list of fears. And when you can show up and just say, you know what, I'm going to practice, like, showing up, being as vulnerable as I can in every moment. I'm going to show up just being my authentic self. I'm going to show up setting really healthy boundaries, and yet at the same time wanting to create intimacy. And so if intimacy has been a fear in the past, then I'm going to show up and practice what removing those barriers or blocks of intimacy would be like. And you might fumble a couple times. But where are we giving space for each other to, like, just practice doing something new, something different, something like unraveling old patterns and trying new ones so that we can all have the level of love and relationship and connections that we all say that we want. So the more that we can give space for that, I would honestly, like, call stuff out and make it kind of a joke of, like, hey, like, I don't know, I kind of, like, I like you, I like hanging out with you. And I feel like I'm teetering on this line of keeping it cash, which I don't want to go too far into the friend zone. So how about we dive in to talk about intimacy? Like, and just be authentic and make it like, it doesn't have to be a stressful thing, you know, just make it like a fun and a playful thing. And if you were a little kid, like, getting to know each other, it wouldn't be a thing. You'd be like, hey, do you want to play? I want to play. Let's try playing, being intimate and being vulnerable and sharing what's true for us. What if we did that as a concept? What if we let that be okay to show up as our authentic selves? Yes. Okay. You think I'm right? Good. So try it, because you're just there practicing anyways. What's the worst that could happen? He gets mad. Not projecting onto him. But if he does, then okay, he wasn't, like, he didn't want to play. Right? Not everybody has the capacity to do that, but then they haven't been learning how to just show up and practice either. And maybe they haven't been giving themselves space to do that, right? Men usually don't, because society says all of these other rules that they're supposed to be, you know? And at the same time, we as women, we haven't been giving ourselves permission either. Okay? So if we all want to have more intimacy and more fun and more play, then, like, can we show up and be our authentic selves and practice doing that and just practice? Not everybody's going to know how to do that, because that's real and that's authentic. And some people, that doesn't work for them. So you'll get real clear on that. But again, it's not about them. If they were on Soul Circle, we would be talking about them and their problems. But you showed up because you're up to practicing who you want to be and how you're relating. That's what this is about. So the more that you're practicing doing that, and the more that you can say, you know what, like, I showed up and I did that. And I feel really good about being open and being authentic and being vulnerable. And was it perfect? Fuck no, because what is? But I did, because that's how I want to practice relating to people. And the more that you do that, if it's not aligned with that person, if they don't know how to match that, then they'll move out. And then you'll find another person who's closer to what you're practicing. And they're either going to be wanting to practice with you longer or be able to get to those deeper layers, or then you'll move on to the one that then is practicing on those deeper levels. But again, it's never about them, right? This is the first time I'm going to say it's not about them, it's about you, right? Hearts on that. Can we get major hearts on that? We all just have to give ourselves permission. And here's the thing though, because I get like the mind, and especially the old program, it doesn't know that it's safe to do that. It doesn't know that showing up authentic is safe to do that. So your conscious mind is saying, yes, I want to be able to do that. Your subconscious mind is like, oh my God, the last time I did that, somebody yelled at me, they abandoned me, they this, that, and the other thing me, right? So as much as we're giving ourselves permission, we have to give ourselves a little bit of compassion, knowing that our old programming, that's still current programming, until we keep practicing the new thing, but it's in the practicing that we create the new program. So if we're not practicing, we'll never create a new program. We'll just keep jumping back or reliving the old program. So you have to tell yourself, yes, I give myself permission, and recognizing that all of the fears of that old program or whatever happened last time or however many times that's keeping that safety programming of why you can't be authentic, if some hearts of this is relating, why you can't show up authentic or why you can't show up vulnerable, oh my God, is going to immediately show up because you're in the practice of something new. So it's challenging the old, which that program is going to be, oh my God, are you sure? Remember last time? Let's not do that. Last time we got in trouble. Last time they left. Last time that broke my heart. Let's not do that again. And that's what stops us from giving ourselves permission to try something new or to show up again. Because just one time, and just if one person didn't know how to hold space for that, doesn't mean that you don't keep practicing for you to create a new program. Because again, it's not about them. It's for you to create a new healthy program for you in how you're relating. That's what it's about. Hearts on that? Yes, heart. Okay, showing up is exhausting but important. What do you mean? What do you mean? I can't tell you how many women I hear, and I've equally had experience with, right? Putting in more effort and then not receiving the effort in return. So there is a balance. Don't abandon yourself. Here's a concept. Hear me on this. I talked about this in membership today. Okay. So what if you practicing a new healthy program? What if you getting into alignment with the emotion of the highest version of you, or closer to the highest version of you, and how you want to be relating on that, right? In a relationship, yes, takes a little bit of effort, because the effort is going against the old program. You've been going to the gym and you've been working the left arm this entire time. So now, yeah, it's going to take a little bit of effort to work the right arm because this one's weaker. But the more that you do that, what if the way that you've been doing it that's causing the problems or the effort, what if that is the abandonment of you? What if you going against practicing in a healthy way and showing up authentic? If you're not showing up authentic, what if that is actually abandoning the highest version of you? So you're in abandonment of yourself. Give some hearts if you guys followed that one. Because we all have this abandonment. Everybody has. I think abandonment got created the minute that we came out of the womb. It's like, oh my God. Yes, girl, yes. Because who we are as the highest version of us, like that's what we need to be practicing being more often. So anytime we're not that, we're abandoning ourselves. We're abandoning that as the highest version of ourselves because we're going against it. We're saying, oh no, I'd rather be over here. That doesn't feel good. I don't want to be practicing authenticity and vulnerability and like healthy relating because my old programming over here is saying, no, I'd like to feel worse about things more often than I would like feeling really fun and powerful and amazing and loving and intimate and romantic and all of those fun things. So if we're not doing that, then we're abandoning that. We're abandoning this over here for something that doesn't feel as good. Give some hearts if you guys are relating to this, if you're hearing me on this. It's a different perspective on abandonment because we're all like, oh my gosh, somebody's going to leave. And it's like, but how are we leaving ourselves? This is a little bit deeper than just healthy boundaries, right? Because healthy boundaries are like, okay, you crossed your boundaries. Okay, let's reestablish a boundaries. No, I'm talking about the version of you that is joyful and happy and is moving through the unhealthy programs, the false shadow of self-love and moving into more of what you want. If we're not that, then we're abandoning that, right? We're saying, no, thank you. I'd like to go into more of what doesn't feel good. Definitely. Okay. 100%. Okay, cool. And it's totally, I do feel a slippage, just a little slippage of self when I'm not totally me. Exactly. So you're just slipping out of the version of you. Girl, I know you know emotional alignment. So if you know who you are as your emotional alignment, so just to give some context in my Power of Becoming, there's an emotional alignment technique. You find out who you've been in the past, the not version of you, the unhealthy or the false identity, as I call it. And then you discover the actual like emotional alignment of you, the highest version of you, and what you want. Because if we're not clear on what we need to let go of, and if we're not clear on what we need to move into, then we won't. It's like you got to like look before you leap kind of thing. So yes, a little slippage. It just means that you're slipping out. And then you're just going to get back in. And then you're going to slip out. And then you're going to get back in. Because we're human. And that happens. And old programs and those old thoughts that support the old programs are going to come up. So the way to establish a new neural pathway, healthy program is to do it more often. How else are we going to do that if we're not practicing with each other? And that's why in relationships, we got to hold space for that. But that's conscious relating, right? That's like, hey, can we have an open conversation about like, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm working on. Can we hold space for each other in that? And then you open up a space for like deeper love and deeper compassion and just deeper acceptance. And there's so many beautiful things that can happen out of that for somebody who's down to play at that level. If they're not, that's okay. Not everybody's ready for that. See if the dude is ready for that. They're like, all right, home slice. You want practice? And make it fun and playful and a joke. Just be like, hey, it's one of the things I'm working on about myself. Just full transparency. How many times do we know that statement, right? When you do something or when you say something, you give others permission to do the same. Give some hearts. You guys know what I'm talking about? When you show up in a certain way, you give others permission to do the same, right? What's that meme? I don't know who quoted it. I don't know who said it. Right? So, girl, this goes for all women. This goes for all women on here. We are the feminine. So even the feminine inside of men, right? But that's a whole other thing, is having men listen to their inner feminine. Women need to listen to their inner masculine and vice versa. Some women are not listening to their inner feminine either. Some men are not listening to their inner masculine either. The feminine, the essence of feminine in relationship is the GPS. You are the GPS. You navigate your intuition. The essence of femininity is the essence of intuition. Give some hearts if you relate to this. So if you're the essence of intuition, you are the essence of the navigation. So you're going to be like, let's go over here, right? If the masculine energy is the gas on the pedal, like, let's go, they will put the gas on the pedal and like run in circles if they don't have a GPS. They'll just be gas, or they'll just go straight. They don't know where they're going. They need the feminine as the GPS. Yes? That's how partnership works really well. Like, okay, babe, I'll tell us where to go. I'll set the tone. You hit the gas. You drive. Yes? So you're the GPS. So show up and be like, hey, let's guide it this way. What if we were to talk about values? One of the most like overlooked topics. Values. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Give some hearts if that related to all of you guys. So I know it's talking directly to you, babe, but that's so, I feel like that's so relatable. I have been in that position, right? I continually make commitments with myself to release old programming. And I know that in the releasing of, I have to be practicing the new. And just like babies, you're going to trip and fall. Like, it's not going to look pretty all the time. You're not going to do it perfect all the time. But if you can give yourself space, and if you have like a partnership that like allows for that, and, you know, and if something happens, if it gets a little sticky and then you clean it up, but that takes a different level of awareness and capacity and want to and commitment. It's a different way of relating. But for me, give some hearts if this relates to you guys. I feel like that's more freeing. I want more freedom in relationship. And we put all these stipulations on how you're supposed to show up and what you're supposed to say and not say, and what you're supposed to talk about on a first date and not talk about on a second date. And like we put all these rules on, like the relationship rules. It's like, fuck the rules, throw out the book. Like, what if you just tried something different? Because clearly the way that we've been doing it, not working so well. So what if we put together more of a relationship resume? Said, oh, wow, these are the qualities I have. These are the qualities I'm looking for in an equal CEO. And then that becomes a partnership romantically with really amazing sex. Okay. We're not taking that out of that, right? It's like you almost get more intimacy and then you have better sex when that happens. Just saying. Right? It's an equal awareness. And, you know, I keep seeing all of these, like you badass babes, I'm so always continuously impressed and so proud at the level at which every single person that comes to me, like, you are so dedicated to like, let me see it, let me work through it, let me apply it, like, let's go. Like, those are my girl. Like, you are my girls. I love you so much for how you show up, to be like rewiring those old programs because you're committed to higher love. Like, it inspires me so much. It makes my heart so happy. Like, I love it. I love it. I acknowledge each one of you, right? This is the name of the game. These practices, these tools, putting them into play, that's the name of the game. So proud of all of you. So keep going. Hang on. Sarah Monaco. I said I would come back to you, and I can't find your question, love. Give me a second. Give some hearts, guys. Okay. Roller coaster of emotions. Grateful for all, and then sad. Okay. Body shame. Ooh. Okay. With all this lockdown. Okay. Give some hearts. Who else? Thank you, babe, for showing up, just being vulnerable. That's why I love Soul Circle too, because it's like everybody, you're like, your questions, like, it's just real and it's vulnerable, and I love it. Okay, so give some hearts if anybody has been working through body shame. my God, if I eat another sandwich, my hips are gonna like, come on now, okay? I got my girls' booty bands, like working it out every day. But let's be real, like we could all like, great. I love that places of worship are now essential, but my place of worship is the gym. Could we make that happen, please? Any day now. Any day now. Okay, so body shame. Yes, we got hearts on body shame. I'm gonna come down to the basics, right? Of what are you making that mean? What is the conversation? Listening. We gotta listen. The body shame. I'm gonna open a book on this one. Okay. We're not doing cards for this one. I'm gonna open the personal power of awareness. The book is the same as cards. It's hilarious. Okay. Because we've all been doing it. It's part of the programming. It's part of the thing so I want you to listen for what you're saying. I want you guys all to listen to whatever you're saying. Like what is it going to mean? Whatever you're saying about your body, right? You're saying you're feeling gratitude, and then you'll go like into, what do you say, sad, right? So again, similar to what I was saying before, the highest version of you and how that version of you feels in your body. That version of you feels amazing. That version of you is taking steps and actions that you know are needed for what you got to eat right. Like do the booty band. Like, let's just be super real. If it's our body, we need to move our body in some capacity in order to not just keep the energy going, but just be fit in general. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. That's not what I'm saying. You don't have to be like a bootylicious, Instagram person. That's not what we're saying. But you have to move the body and stay fit. If you don't use it, you lose it. So walking around, making sure that you're getting out, right? Speed walking, if you will. Every single person is doing a morning yoga, a fitness, like Instagram live, anything and everything. But the version of you that's the higher version of you, right? Those emotions, you're going to be taking steps and actions that are going to follow when you're in alignment with that version of you. If you slip out, which is the guilt and then the shame and all of the emotions that go along with the opposite version of you, the false or the old programmed version of you, you're going to take actions that are based on these feelings. You're not going to want to, not going to be motivated. You're not going to feel good about yourself. You're going to look in the mirror and just be like, oh my God. And then you're going to make up a whole bunch of other stories about how you're not lovable and nobody's ever going to love you and blah, blah, blah. I've done it. Okay. And full transparency, I have always in my body never felt comfortable. I've always had some weird pain or stomach aches or like some sort of just uncomfortable in the body. So I know I have a daily conversation with how it feels in my body. I had even just I think 3 years now, I recommitted to my relationship to my body because of the pain and because of just stomach aches. It's either a headache, a stomach ache, a leg ache, a hip ache, a something. Just there's always some uncomfortableness ever since I was 4 years old, probably before. So I know that. And even 3 years ago, I had to recommit to my body and say, all right, girl, I've been abandoning you because you've been in pain. So I was like, well, fine, if you're in pain, this was just for me. So see how this can apply for you and see if you guys resonate with this. I was like, well, if you're in pain, you're going to put me in pain. Then like, why am I going to take care of you? Why am I going to do right? You always show up with pain. That was my conversation with my body, not healthy conversation with my body. I was angry about it. It's really easy to be angry when you're in pain. Really easy to just pick on so many different things. Was not healthy by any means. So, and I'm pretty sure this was like 3 years ago, somewhere around there. I had to recommit to how I was going to communicate the relationship I was going to have with my body because I was abandoning her. I was not treating her good. I was not having a conversation that was a healthy relationship dynamic with her. And that was when I really separated and had the awareness that like, oh, my spirit, my highest version of myself that is inhabiting this body, that awareness that's inhabiting this body, that feels awesome all the time. The me that's in here that feels disconnected and weird and uncomfortable in my body all the time, that's a different conversation. If I tap into that, then yeah, I'm not going to be motivated with my body. I'm not going to put healthy things in it. I'm not going to do that. So I had to have a new conversation, just like changing the relationship dynamic, any relationship dynamic. I had to set a new practice with my body. I had to understand that if my spirit is separate than this physical body, then I could have a conversation with this body and how I was communicating with this body, the things that I would say to it. If you're saying unhealthy, unattractive, not nice things, then that's an unhealthy, right? That's like you're being a bully. Just being real, just being fully transparent and being real about that. I was doing it. I had to get real that that's what I was doing. I was not honoring myself, not at all, right? And you guys know Emoto's work? Do you guys know Dr. Emoto's work? The things that you say changes the molecular structure, changes how your cells, the water in your body, and how that shows up. So full transparency, that is still a daily practice that I do. There is always some other stomach ache or pain that hasn't gone away, right? And because sometimes I'll eat some. I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat it anyway. But now I check in with her and I'm like, what do you want to eat? What do you need? Okay, do we want to go for a walk? Like I'm literally, it sounds maybe crazy, but I'm literally talking to my body. And when I start saying things that aren't nice, I apologize to myself, to her, to my body. Apologize to yourself for how you've been speaking to yourself. That is not okay. Because we say that we don't tolerate in a relationship. And yet how many times do we let that slide in how people treat us in relationship? And it's really how we were treating ourselves because we let it slide with ourselves. Abandonment of self. Woo. Hearts on that. Give some yes, give some hearts if you guys are following. Like this is like, we don't come to Soul Circle to like fuck around. This is the real. This is the real. And I'm never going to sugarcoat it. And I'm never going to be like, sure, just make a vision board and like whatever you want to look like on the vision board. And then subconsciously you're going to see it like all the time. No. Vision boards are great after you're already putting something into practice. Okay. Because what vision boards can do, if you're not following in alignment and taking actions and moving into the emotional alignment of the highest version of yourself, that then would take those actions in alignment with being that highest version of yourself, you're going to look at that vision board every single time and you're going to feel more guilty because you're like, oh my God, I'm not that. I put it on my vision board and I haven't done it yet. And you're going to sink deeper and deeper and deeper. Give some hearts if you relate to that. That's real. Create the vision board. Cool. Create it, turn it backwards, and don't look at it until like set it as an intention and then put it in the closet. If it's stimulating those negative or right, what you don't have yet, because then you're just going to get more into the conversation of, oh my God, I don't have that yet. And then that might bring more guilt or shame, body shaming. Vision boards bully me. Real. Yes. I'm always going to keep it real. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for you guys because it's not going to help you. We're either like moving through our shit or like repeating old. We're either moving through our shit and moving into the future, or we're falling back or staying stuck. And maybe you need to stay stuck until you're ready to like move forward. Either way, right? But if we're not putting things into practice, if we don't have a practice to put into practice, then how is it going to get done? This is different than just meditating every day. That's not what true like work is. Adventure, excuse me. We got to keep changing the language, right? Because we have such a negative connotation on like work, like doing the inner work, like it's fucking homework. It's literally the adventure of you becoming the highest version of yourself so that you get to be happy and fucking badass no matter what else is happening. So that you're more in alignment with joy and every abundant aspect of what then can come to you. Or we're out of it. And then we come back in. And then we get out of it. And then we come back in because we're human. So the trick is not, oh my God, am I in or am I out of alignment? The goal, rather, is cool. I know this is my alignment. I've done the emotional alignment technique. I understand. I know where I'm going. I know where I want to go. I know the feeling of the highest version of myself. I have it anchored in my body and my visualization. And I'm either here, and then when I recognize that I'm not here, then the quicker I can stop, drop, fucking love out of that and then back into the alignment that I do want. It's the quickness of, not whether you are or aren't. It's the quickness of how quick can you recognize that you're out, do what you need to do, put into practice the tools, use the anchors, use the tools that you're taught, and move back into alignment. Because you're human and you're going to move out. And then you're going to move back in. And the more that you can do that, the quicker that you can do that, the more often that you'll just feel this is more congruent. This feels more normal. This feels more safe. This feels more like where you want to be. And you'll get more addicted to this than the this that you're currently addicted to, the feeling bad and the guilt and the shame and the blah, blah, blah. And I don't know why that is. We just somehow as humans get more addicted to feeling like shit. Because look at our world and what is programmed and projected at us. Feel like a victim. Feel unfree. Feel like you don't have any freedom. Feel like you don't have any rights. Feel like you're fucking all the world is going to hell in a handbasket. Just it's shit, right? Just continue projecting shit so that you will continue to feel like shit. So you will forget who the fuck you really are and being in alignment with that highest version of you. No. Just stay over here. This is the game. Well, I don't know. I say the game is like the positive game, right? This is sometimes we call it the matrix. This is the loop. This is the rat race. This is the facade. This is the fun house of mirrors that's not so fucking fun. It's not where we came from. It's not who we are. And all we've all come down here to do is remember who we are. We've all seen the memes. Okay. Y'all know. You're what? You guys tell me. You're here to remember who you are. You're here to be the highest version of you. And we all say that. But putting it into practice is what actualizes it. Having the techniques and tools to put it into practice every single day, giving yourself permission to put it into practice, giving yourself permission to feel and look like it's not going to be perfect right off the bat, but fuck, I'm putting it into practice and I'm going to keep practicing and I'm going to keep doing it until I get more normal over here than normal over here. Because this isn't normal. This is not the normal. This is our normal. If you just tuned in, we're talking about this is our positive alignment and this is our out of alignment. But we act like this is the normal. It's so not. This is our positive alignment. This is out of alignment. We act like this is the normal. This is our true normal. Operate more here. Stay in alignment with all of the feelings, all of the visions, all of the thoughts, the emotions, and all of those things that you see is the highest version of you. If you don't know what that is, then no amount of meditation is going to get you there until you actually create it. I'm not saying meditation's bad. Meditation's 100% great. Super, super, super great. Love meditating. But it's not going to rewrite a subconscious program that you have been running since you were 2, 5, and then another one at 7, and then maybe one at 13, and then a couple at like 22. All of those programs, every heartbreak that justified the program of you staying small and staying in you being unlovable, all of that keeps getting solidified after every single time you attract somebody into your life and you're like, oh, see? Assholes again. We're funny little humans like that. And all of those will continue justifying as if that's our normal. And that is not the normal. Over here is the normal. But we got to give ourselves permission to put it into practice. We got to give our relationships holding space to put it into practice and not show up fucking perfect. And again, like I said, not everybody is going to be down to do that. And that's okay, because they're used to this normal over here and they still think that this is normal. But you're over here to practice a new normal. New normal. This is the fucking new normal. Give yourself permission. Give each other permission. Give yourselves just the space to be like, yes, I can show up vulnerable. I can show up authentic. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm just practicing on how to do a new healthy relating program that's coming from me being in tune with the highest version of myself. And I'm going to slip out every once in a while. Fuck. And then I'm going to do my best to get back in quicker. Fuck. And then I'll slip out again. Oh my God, I'm going to feel like I'm getting whiplash with my own version of myself. But good God, when you can make this the new normal, it's just a lot more fun over here. I have three primary things that I was like, all right, I'm going to check myself on, check everybody else on. This showed up in our membership calls as well. Okay. So give some hearts if you guys are down for this adventure this week. What things are you going to stop doing that pulls you into this old normal, this old version of you? What three things are you going to stop doing? Right? One of them for me, I'm just full transparency, complaining. It's gotten a lot easier being in lockdown. The complain button gets hit every single day. Being negative, that kind of goes hand in hand with complaining. Who's been negative during this lockdown? Real easy to get negative about so much. You start that boulder of negativity, you just find other things to be negative about. Super, super fun. Okay. That and asking why. I am purging the negativity, the complaining, and asking why questions. Why is this happening? Why did that happen? Why did they blah, blah, blah? Why didn't they blah, blah, blah? There's a loop in the story and then pulled over here. I'm like, oh, I feel super happy. Okay, I'm good. I'm aligned. Feel like fucking badass. Awesome. Oh my God, remember that one thing happened? And then why did that happen? And then I don't understand. And then why did this happen? And no. I'm exaggerating. And yet it probably is way more dramatic than that when we're really being honest about how it happens. Everybody's breakdown looks way more dramatic than that. Complacency and being defensive. Awesome. Love that. Okay. Getting rid of. I love these. Cool. You're still in the why stage. Awesome. Get the fuck out. It's just replaying old story over and over and over again, just to then pull you back over here, over and over and over again. One, lower my irritability. Awesome. Love that. Doubting the positive. Ooh, super great. Allowing myself to wallow. Good one. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yes, it's so easy to spiral. So you know what's cool is if it's easy to spiral down, how easy is it to spiral up? If we just played that game. We're real good at spiraling down. It must mean we're fucking experts in spiraling. I can spiral so fucking good. So if I can spiral down super good, I can spiral up super fucking good too. Badass at spiraling up. You got the technique down. You know how to spiral. So just do it in the opposite direction. Catch yourself. Stop, drop, love. You have to catch yourself. You have to stop yourself from spiraling down. Flip that shit and reverse it. Fucking Missy E, let's go. And spiral up. Closer to love, further away from love. Closer to love, further away from love. Separation, duality, hate, hell. Love, higher self, fucking heaven, all of it. All of it. Higher self, higher love, We got to go higher. We have to go higher. Our commitment has to go higher. Every single day, your commitment right off the bat in the morning should be like, all right, how am I going to go higher today? How am I going to go higher today? Cool. The news, not doing that. How am I going to go higher today? All this guilt, shame, blah, blah, blah about my body. Cool. Got that. Thank you so much. How am I going higher today? That should be number one game out the door before you brush your teeth, before your fucking coffee. I don't care whether you do it in a meditation or if you have, I have a rule. I set affirmations on my phone, on my calendar. Every single one of my clients literally has like gridded down their phones. If you don't, you should. Ladies, you know you should have gridded. I make a special Google calendar for affirmation alarms, not even playing. I have like sometimes I have to sit there with it because like 4 of them will go off at like 9 o'clock. And then another 3 will go off at 10 o'clock in the morning. Make a Google calendar for all the things that you're saying no to, letting go of the lowest version of you, and then how you're going to go higher. Those positive affirmations that you're going to go higher. We cannot release something. We can't release an old program. This is literally conditioning of the mind. We cannot release. It's harder. It's harder because your subconscious, the program is there to try to keep you safe, right? So it's harder to release an old program unless you give yourself something new. It's basic math. That's not math, but you get what I'm saying. So our minds, our programs will not release it because you got to look before you leap. You got to know where you're going before you get there. Emotional mastery at its finest. That's why it's energy in motion because you're going to sway over here and then you're going to sway over here, right? Okay. I will pull one card. Yes, hearts. Give some hearts if this is resonating. Give some hearts if you guys are committed to this. I mean, it's ultimately for you. I only want the highest version of you. And I love you regardless. Exactly. The past programming is like a blanket. It keeps us safe. It's like a banky. Our binky. Our past is a banky. Don't leave a home without it. I had a little blanket when I was little. I loved it. I loved wrapping my fingers around it, right? It's such nervous energy. When I was a kid, I would wrap my fingers. So weird. I don't know. My mom's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just like the feeling. It was like silk and satin, and I would wrap all my fingers, and super weird. I love, very tactile. Okay. Timeless Earth. That's the card for this week. So new normal. This has got to be the new normal for the new earth that we all want. We literally have the ability within us to heal ourselves. Please go watch Doctor Strange. Please. We have the ability to heal within us. Yes, you still need to take care of your body. Absolutely. Right? But it's our thoughts, it's our emotion, it's the alignment that we stay in that's either this or this that's going to determine our reality, our earth, and the expansion and the ever expanding of it. If we want a new normal, if we want a positive outcome for our whole collective fucking society that for some reason is still pitting against each other when we have a global thing that should be bringing people together more, because everybody can't get higher. Everybody's like, nope, this is my perspective, your perspective. It's not about whose perspective is right anymore. It's about going higher and seeing from a higher perspective to get to something that's an earth that we all would like to participate in and on and with each other. I posted something on my Facebook where there was like, okay, the definition of hell, That's a state of consciousness. It's an I mentality. It's a selfish mentality. It's like there was this group and they were trying to eat, and there was a giant bowl in the middle of the room, and they had spoons stuck to their hands, and they were 3 feet long. So they were trying to spoon themselves and they couldn't because it was too far away. So they were starving. And then the version of heaven is people helping each other, feeding each other, helping, coming more together. We mentality. If we're going to put any gender definitions on anything, it needs to be a we. There's no more like him, her. That's all separatism. It's a we conversation. I versus you. I'm different than you. Ugh. It's so old. That's all selfish and cowardly. I'm just calling it. And it's not a judgment, it's an observation about how if we don't start working and relating to each other differently, we're not like, let's just say when we can start relating to ourselves better, then we can start relating to each other better. And we got to go higher for that. Love anyway. And yeah, there's assholes and blah, 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 and whatever. And basically all that means is people who are unhealed. So give them love anyway. If you guys know it, it's one of my favorite books. I got it in Australia before my awakening. Page 51, if you have it. Love and accept who you are, not who you will be or should be. And here's, well, I'll read the next couple sentences and then I'll say what I was about to say. If you love yourself for who you are living in the present time, which is the gateway to personal power. If you love only who you will be, then you are out of your body, living in the future, and you cannot affect until it becomes present time and you can act. Okay, great point to that. The highest version of you is the ultimate you in the present moment. Sometimes, and I've said this on other videos, because right now being in the present doesn't feel totally safe. So we do have to jump into the future version of us. When this pandemic first came out, I was like, jump into the future. Absolutely. But then jump into the future, see the version of you, who you would like to be when all of this is over. And then jump back to the present time so that you can act. The action, putting those steps into place in order to becoming that. So the love and accept who you are, not who you will be or should be. That is the step before you get into alignment with the highest version of you. If you don't currently accept, if you don't give love and acceptance for who you currently are, because if you don't, you'll be in resistance, right? You'll be in that shame and that guilt and whatever, right? I'm in resistance. My body doesn't look the way that I want, or my future doesn't look the way that I want. So that's creating resistance, but that's putting you into the lower vibration. So when you can move into the future or into the higher version of you, and you're literally like bringing that in and braiding it and embodying that, and put that into the future present moment and take action steps according. That's the putting it into practice that actually has it becoming. Because you are already that version of you. That's when it says who you really are, accept who you really are, it's accept the version of you that you are now, but also don't forget the version of you that you really are is the highest version of you. That is the highest version of you. That is who you really are. That's the completion for this week. I love you guys. I love you all for tuning in. I love you for showing up and being vulnerable, for putting stuff into practice, for doing it, for being brave badasses who do it. Which model helps this Wonder Woman? I love that, Violet Briggs. Thank you. That was in Reviving Radiance. So if you guys ever have more questions on the how-to tools to put the stuff into practice, DM me. There's courses available, obviously working with me one-on-one. I love you guys so much. I'm here for you. DM me with other questions. I'm Sarah Delane, your conscious lifestylist, helping you create healthy relationships and building badass online businesses. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, babes. Bye, YouTube.